This video is to address some of the comments from the conversation going on Gen X. And for those of you who are always asking me, oh, can you please make some more debating videos? Well, I'll be spitting a little bit of debating game in this video. First of all, a few people had some questions about this, so just for clarity's sake, I work out of my house. I got my own little business going on. I usually work a little bit every day so I don't have to work long hours, but on the days when I have serious workload, most of my day will be spent on the computer. I usually chat with people while I'm working, or I'll take a break from work and chat with somebody for a while. And since I have my Yahoo handle posted on my page, I get messaged a lot by people, and usually the first time they talk to me they have a whole lot of questions, so we'll end up talking for 2-3 hours as well. A lot of times I'll record videos while I'm working, which is why a lot of times my audio sound like it's been spliced together, or I'll repeat one line twice. But anyway, just to clear that up, the type of work that I do allows me to be able to interact with people while I'm working. Like Pete said in his video, most of our conversations are short. Most of the time it's me sending him a link, or him sending me a link, or me asking what do you think about this, or him asking me the same thing. Only sometimes do we talk for hours, but so do I talk to other people for hours who message me. Now when I chat with some males, I do save the chat logs just in case, and I do that because of a situation that happened, about 6 months ago. I won't go into detail, but I'll just say that I don't want anybody to accuse me of having come on to them online, so I save the chat logs when talking to certain people. For some allegations, all it would take is for somebody to say it, and then nobody's going to believe that it's not true without definitive evidence. So I just save chat logs as a little CYA thing. The only way I'd really ever make a chat log public is if you say that I said something I didn't say. If you're going to lie about a conversation, at that point you lose your quote-unquote right to keep that conversation private. With all these stories that have come up in the news, like what happened with Eddie Long and Ted Haggard, it's like people really enjoy hearing juicy secrets come out about public people's lives. And since a lot of times these allegations turn out to be true, then people tend not to believe people even when they are innocent. So that's why I save chat logs on certain conversations with certain people. If no shit ever goes down, those logs will never become public. But regardless of whether I save chat logs or not, everybody should know that what you do online is not anonymous. Never say anything online that you wouldn't like to get out about you. There are a few people I've met on YouTube that I actually consider to be friends, and I talk to them on the phone. They're all female. But anyway, some people were saying, oh, you guys quarrel like a married couple. I'm like, no, we quarrel like brother and sister. Now that said, Pete doesn't know much more about me than anybody else on YouTube. He doesn't know what I look like. He doesn't know my real name. Well, maybe he does because I've said it. But even if he does, he calls me gotta be kidding me. He only vaguely knows where I live, as in which state. I live in Florida. He doesn't know what I do for a living. He doesn't have my number. We've never spoken outside Messenger. He doesn't know anything about my husband, other than what I've said publicly about him in videos. Anyway, the point is, any interaction between me and Pete is strictly platonic. So when I asked him why he was bringing up private stuff, I meant private as in not public, not private as in, so what are you wearing? All that said, Pete has said that I've said some things that I didn't say. Not sexual things, mind you, but things nonetheless. And I told him that if he kept it up, I would show everybody evidence that that's just not true. I'm not going to sit here and let somebody say that I said stuff I didn't say. Alright, enough of that for now. On to the Gen X comments. Even though these are public comments that you can go over to Gen X and read for yourself, I'm not going to mention names. The reason is that I don't want you to get sidetracked by who's saying it, I just want you to hear what they're saying. Alright, here's the first comment. I don't know if I'll read the whole thing because it's kind of long, but you'll be able to see it on the screen. And the comment reads, I had no idea that Gotta Be Kidding Me was on the black men are arrogant bullshit. Allow me to explain. Black women are angry that on point black men have black women's playbook. Too bad that motherfucker only has like 3 plays in it, and black men have them memorized. But on the flip side, black women don't understand shit about black men. I'm talking they don't know anything, and it shows. When they claim on point black men are arrogant, basically what they are admitting to is that we are like Ghost, a total enigma. Alright, people who want debate pointers, listen up here. I have said that I do find some black men to be arrogant, more so than any other race. And I have given specific examples of the alleged arrogance. If you're debating someone and you give specific examples of what you're talking about, and they dismiss what you're saying without shooting down your points or even considering your evidence, then they don't need to be taken seriously. And these are the same men who have no problem saying black women have worse attitudes than other races. And if you even act like you're going to deny that, they'll say, oh, you're just deflecting. But let me say something about them with examples. They just want to dismiss it with this crazy, oh, we got your playbook, but you don't understand us. Or they say you're bashing them. So what are you saying, that exceptional black men have no flaws? There's nothing anybody can call you out on? That itself is arrogance. A lot of them seem to have this attitude that, okay, we beat the odds, we didn't go to jail, we don't have kids everywhere, we graduated from college, so how dare you call us out on anything? Why don't you go address the thugs? They're the ones messing up the community. Well, hello, I don't mess with thugs, so I don't give a fuck what they do as long as they leave me alone. Next post by the same guy. Gotta be kidding me, because the on-point black man that you wanted was not checking for you then or now. You have chosen to emotionally lashing out at black men. I get the feeling that you and many other black women, Blake, Barbie doll, etc., do or did at one point care about black men, but you, because of your immaturity, you, as well as others, choose to throw hissy fits trying to get your way because of your lack of understanding of the on-point black man. It really is sad. We are telling you how we feel. There is nothing else to it. Your lack of understanding tells me you also lack any respect for black men as a whole. I have come to the conclusion that you are no different than Don. How fucked up is that? Alright, people who want debate pointers, listen up again. First of all, his allegations are very non-specific. He doesn't give any examples of what he says that I'm doing. Then, at the end of his post, and pay close attention to this, he says something that's meant to get me upset. Guys like this, as you can see from his post, strive to put all black women into one category so they can say, see, that's how black women are. And then possibly, I'm not sure about this guy, but possibly use that as a reason to say, well, I don't date black women. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dawn or Don Nicoleon is that ghetto chick I was talking about in my last video. Now, he says he sees no difference between me and her. I don't believe for a second that he actually believes that. He's either saying that to get me upset or to sidetrack the conversation. So the worst thing I could do is to focus on that last line. I'm not going to let him sucker me into defending against something that's just obviously not true. Instead, I go back to the place where he said I don't respect black men, or I disrespect them. And then I ask for examples. See, a lot of Sergeant Willie Pete's followers over on Gen X don't like me. But they don't really have a good reason for not liking me because I co-sign a lot of what they say. But if I don't agree with something they say, I call them out on it, and because admittedly I'm a good debater, they have a hard time shooting me down. And also I'm not very emotional, so they can't discredit me by getting me to pop off. So they're forced to actually address my points, where other women they can discredit by, oh, you got kids, or oh, you got an attitude, or oh, you're belligerent. So when they can't shoot me down, and I'll say not even necessarily because I'm right and they're wrong, but because I'm a much better debater, they want to brush me off as saying, oh, you're on bullshit. Most of them give me these non-specific criticisms. Oh, you know you say some bullshit sometimes. I'm like, what do I say? Give me some examples. With other women, they'll say, oh, she's on bullshit because she don't believe in male leadership. Oh, she's got a bad attitude. And that girl's got a lisp. She's a single mom with 5 kids. But me, I'm on this non-specific bullshit. That's why I insist on examples, or I just dismiss the criticism, because it doesn't need to be taken seriously. So then I asked this guy for some examples of my so-called disrespect for black men. When asked for examples, this guy just parrots Sergeant Willie Pete. A better title for his list would be, Things I Don't Like About Gotta Be Kidding Me, Not Ways in Which You've Disrespected Black Men. Number 1. Trying to deflect the discussion back into beauty just for the sake of attacking Sarge. Okay, I guess that's fair, except that he brought me up in the video. Did you forget about that? He brought me up. So this is one of his examples of how I disrespect black men as a whole. Number 2. Thinking any black man should get with you because of how you view yourself as a catch. Again, even if this were true, this is disrespect. Disrespect is quote-unquote niggas ain't shit. Disrespect is black men are the white man's bitch. Disrespect is black men are secretly faggots. But to answer his point, all I did was ask a question. Why can I get doctors of this race but not that race? And then some of these guys have gone and turned that into, oh, you think you deserve. You think you're entitled. No, I just asked a question, and it was to make a larger point that it's possible for good black women to be out there but be overlooked. For whatever reason. And isn't it some of the black men on Gen X's main complaint that they've beat the odds or made it through college or got a good job or whatever, yet black women are throwing them away for not having enough swag. Basically, they're saying that I got my stuff together, so you should pick me, but you're not over something stupid. And I agree with them, by the way. If you're a decent person and got your stuff together, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect to be able to attract good catches if you are a good catch. And I definitely don't see anything wrong with asking for feedback from the opposite sex about it. I mean, damn, can I ask a question? Number 3 is kind of like number 2, claiming upper echelon black men are arrogant based on the fact that they won't talk to you. The men who I called arrogant were men who I actually dated, and I experienced their arrogance. They were exceptions, but not necessarily upper echelon. I also gave specific examples. Address the examples or hush. Number 4, trying to attack Sarge with points that have already been covered. Okay, again, he brought me up. He brought up a point that I had already covered, in a private conversation no less. And second of all, this is disrespectful to all black men. How? And number 5, completely ignoring the stuff black men are explaining to you in favor of your own weak-ass points. Apparently we are all lying about the stuff we want out of black women. Again, I'd really need to make that playlist. I have made videos about black women's behavior the same as you guys. How am I denying anything? Pete brought me up in the video. Did I say that enough? But if you think there's something that black men are saying about black women that I'm denying, either that's not true, or if I deny it, I give you a specific reason. Address my reason for denying it. One other thing I want to fit in before I run out of time. He accuses me again of not respecting black men, and I tell him I've dated lots of black men. Why would I date men I don't respect? So then he comes back with this. What does dating black men have to do with respecting black men? Need I remind you that Dawn, he's talking about Dawn Nicoleon, is married? She also happens to refer to her husband as a nigga and a motherfucker, and basically sees him as a bitch that is too stupid to run his home and family. Alright, first of all, when have I directly called anybody a nigga or a motherfucker? And you guys already know, or you should know, that I believe in male leadership. He is desperately trying to tie me to that Dawn Nicoleon chick, and he just can't do it. And this is a guy who will make the statement, oh, you're on bullshit, but then when I ask him specifically what my bullshit is, this is the stuff he comes up with. Nothing. So you know what, guys over there on Gen X? You got nothing on me, you got no reason not to like me, and when you claim that I'm on bullshit, what you really should say is that you just don't agree. That's two totally separate things. Now if you legitimately think you do have something on me, why don't you man up and bring it up to me instead of just talking shit? And these guys having nothing on me is the reason they say silly stuff like, oh, if you're married to an Asian guy, how come you're still talking about black guys? You must be pining for black dick. Pining for black dick? Now see, I think what's happened here is that you've mixed me up with some white girl. You see, I am black, so black dick isn't a big deal to me. Pun intended. And second of all, my serious answer is, back when I was on YouTube before and the gender war was at its height, I was single and saying some of the same things I said now. And also there are a lot of issues that I bring up that other women want brought up, but they don't necessarily have the right words to say. And they also come at me with this, oh, you're just mad because the upper echelon black men didn't like you. I'm gonna have to borrow from Stylistic on that one. I fucking told you that. If it was something you could make me feel bad about, I wouldn't have told you. And then they jump over to the beauty thing. Oh, you weren't cute enough. And I say, fine. I wasn't cute enough, okay? I can live with that. My point is that you guys can't say there aren't good black women out there. Maybe you're just overlooking them. Alright, that's about all I got to say. Anybody with any criticism for me, you know where to find me. I accept all video responses. I answer most comments. If you got something to say, just say it and be specific and stop with all this passive-aggressive bullshit.